Wow, castanet style. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. On this very nice, finally breaking clear of the cloud cover sky that we had today after the soaking rain we had earlier. It's turning out to be a pretty nice afternoon in the late summer of 2021. We have an awesome guest for you tonight, an amazing actress. Before we get to her, I've got to read these great underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we got Johnny Macaroni's Restaurants, Tony's Bridgewater, one in Halifax. We got Lynch's Towing, Auto, Cycle, and Truck Center in Brockton, one number for towing, one number for projects. We got Middleborough Barbering Company in Middleborough. We got Vape Solutions in East Bridgewater. We got John's Greenhouses and Florist Shop in Brockton. We got Britton Tire Service in Brockton. We got Easton Fitness right in the Village Shops in Northeastern. We got Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We got Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats in Brockton, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell. We got Smoke and Ashes Tobacco stores in South Weymouth, Whitman, Hanson, Abington, Pembroke. We got the Abington Whitman News corporate office number, there it is. We got D&E Auto Body Collision Center in Bridgewater, and we got the Gunrunner LLC in Middleborough, dedicated to your Second Amendment rights. And I want to thank you guys very much, and on that note, I'll now introduce this lovely young lady. This is Liz Bishop. She's been wanting to do my show for a while, and I've been wanting to have her on as a guest. She has quite a few projects under her toe, I guess, as they say, under toe, in tow, whatever. And I guess she has a plane to catch to Texas tomorrow. She's making the rounds. So Liz, I want to thank you before you hit that mighty rose, that yellow rose of Texas, that you stopped in here and did my show today. So thanks for coming up here, down here.
Harrison, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much. And I want to wish you a happy anniversary.
Thank you. It was yesterday.
And a kickoff, though, for your 12th year, I understand?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That's so awesome. It's so great to be aboard. Thank you so much for having me.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, folks, yesterday was my 11th anniversary doing Topic Time. And today it just continues on to my 12th year, and then eventually my 15th, my 30th, my 40th maybe. Who knows? If I can get it out to the 3-digit number for my age, I can manage it. But well, that's awesome. Yes, thank you, Liz. And thank you all, anyone on Facebook who saw that I mentioned it on, on my page. Also watched the show yesterday from Carver. Well, no, I know that it was actually, it's not up yet, but we mentioned how awesome it was to be doing my first Topic Time show on August 18th since the original one that I did, my inaugural one that I did back on August 18th of 2010 in Marshfield, where I began it. So humbly, 11 years ago yesterday. And now, but as we continue, we must continue to move on and accumulate awesome guests like Liz here and find out about them. So Liz, let's do that now. Let's talk about your situation. Where did you grow up? I know you went to Ursuline School in Dedham, right?
Well, not in Dedham. The Ursuline.
Oh, different to Ursuline, because we had an intern here who went to the one in Dedham. She's not here anymore. She's gone to BC.
Yeah, no, I was born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio.
No kidding, okay.
So I went to that Ursuline Academy.
Oh, okay, so I figured there was more than one. All
Yeah.
right, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your childhood in Cincinnati, Ohio, and how that led to where you're at now. If I have any questions, I'll roll them in. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Well,
Okay.
I started out doing theater in grade school and then continued in high school. It was an all-girls school, so it was quite the trick to actually play boys' roles at first.
So they wouldn't actually let in any boys to do just for the plays,
So
right?
it wasn't until my senior year that boys were allowed from the brother school
Okay.
to come into the plays. So yeah, it was great fun.
That must have been awesome. Must have been a big relief from not having any boys at all.
It was how I got
and having to play boys when you weren't one.
It was how I got my prom date for senior year.
Sweet. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I always say everything happens for a reason, and you just made my point for me. Okay.
You know it.
Okay, all right. Well, what kind of theater did you do? Was it improv? Was it comedy? Was it tragic comedy? Was it whatever? You tell me.
Don't forget, this was an all-girls school in the 80s, so it was melodrama, musicals, safe stuff.
Okay,
so,
stuff that G-rated only?
Pretty much, those nuns, right?
Okay, but I'm sure you still had fun.
Oh, had a great time. No,
Okay.
it was absolutely wonderful. Cincinnati was a great place to be from. Great upbringing, and I just spent my life hanging upside down from a branch in my tree wearing my bat costume that my mom had made me.
Cool.
So see, I love to dress up and enjoyed Halloween since the beginning of time. And so that's why I parlayed that into a bit of Halloween extravaganza at my home a few years ago, for about 10, 15 years. If you look up Boston Globe, Liz Bishop Halloween, you'll see it it was
Well,
quite.
tell me about the Boston Globe deal. Before we move to that, you know what? Are you a sports fan at all? I was wondering.
Well,
I was
growing
thinking
up,
back to 1975 when
yeah.
our teams met in the World Series, and I'm wondering if you were as elated at the outcome of that as I was disappointed.
well, yeah, the Big Red Machine was unstoppable back then.
It was.
So,
But how did you feel about it? Were you into it? Were you enjoying it?
yeah, you don't want to know what I did to my Carl Yastrzemski baseball card.
Okay, I didn't-
because
the fact that you even had one.
Living in Cincinnati,
Right.
We had them, but those would go into the spokes of our bicycles.
Of course.
You kids out there don't know what it was like.
I remember. I'm old enough to remember
yeah,
that.
Yeah, So,
okay.
so no, avid sports fans growing up in that regard, but I'm sorry for your loss, but it was a good win for us.
Oh yeah, okay, I know. I was in high school then, and I remember how excited we were on that final game, thinking tonight's going to be the night. Back then it was, I think it was 57 years we had. Well, let's see, it was 1918, so to 1975, yeah, like 57-year wait, and then we still had to wait another 29 years.
Yeah.
So, but we made up for it in the 21st century.
Absolutely.
Well, now let's talk about why you came to Boston and what your Boston Globe article was about and how that came to be.
Well, I came to Boston because I was living in Europe.
Europe? What part of Europe?
I was in Luxembourg in the middle 80s.
Yep, okay.
I was on a radio station called Radio Luxembourg for a time. I played.
As what, a DJ?
Actually, I was the sidekick, voiceovers, drop-ins, comedy bits, that type of thing.
Wow.
So, and then in between the actual album spinning and the eight-track cartridges playing, I brainstormed business ideas with a fellow DJ. And through that, I met my husband because I started a business called Snack Attack, which was a sandwich delivery service.
In Luxembourg?
In Luxembourg.
Wow.
I know, it's crazy.
Huh.
But he was from Boston. That's how I got to Boston.
Oh.
This is the circular way to get to Boston.
You've really circled, you've covered a lot of turf in your however many years you've been around. That's great.
Many years.
Well, okay, I'm probably in the range. All right, so your husband was a Boston guy, and that's how you ended up.
Yeah.
What was he doing in Luxembourg?
So he was working the 12 stock markets, taking technical data off of the charts.
Okay.
Charting stocks.
Big time trader?
Kind of like that,
Okay.
sort of.
Cool. All right, so you came to Boston then, and that was how long ago?
Well, 36 years ago?
Wow.
35 years ago? Yeah, we came to
So
Boston.
the mid-'80s, all right.
Yeah,
And you've been here ever since?
definitely.
All right, what have you been doing when you came to Boston? What did you do to further your acting? I assume that's what you've been doing.
Well, yeah,
But you tell me, what have you been doing besides that?
it's-
Anything, you just tell me.
So I actually had a teaching degree
Okay.
from Miami University of Ohio.
Okay.
And so I felt like I had to use my degree for a little bit. So for a brief shining moment, I was a Montessori teacher and tried to get a job in the Boston market. But instead, I joined a startup company so I could actually afford to pay rent and park my car.
Park your car in Harvard Yard?
Quite expensive to park your car
I know it is.
in Boston. So I put the dreams of theater on the shelf. My parents denied me majoring in theater,
Is that really? Yeah.
sadly.
That's why part of the deal of going to Ursuline and all that was for deprivation, I guess. Well, you must have felt it was.
Actually,
I
it was for intellectual stimulation.
Right,
It was
I
a great
understand.
education.
know. Oh yeah, that's what I hear.
But so I had to put my theater dreams on hold. It wasn't until we moved to the suburbs that I began doing live theater again.
Okay, the suburbs being which? You mean in the Boston area?
So I was involved in the Sudbury Savoyards. Probably did the full.
Where's this?
Well, I was in Sudbury then.
Oh, Sudbury, great town. Yep.
So the Sudbury Savoyards probably did the full canon of Gilbert and Sullivan operettas at that point.
No kidding. So this
And-
is a theater group in Sudbury?
Yep,
Wow, on Route 20, around that area?
exactly Route 20. So,
Okay.
and then I moved over to Concord Players and Savoyard Light Opera which is based in Carlisle, actually.
Okay, so do you like doing musicals where you sing
I
your roles?
I love doing musicals. My favorite musical part, I played Effie Crayneck, the town busybody, in the Spitfire Grill, which
Okay.
was a fabulous story of redemption. The original show opened on Broadway September of,
What year?
2001.
Okay, 20 years.
So
Oh,
they shut down because
Well,
New
9/11 for one
New
thing.
York kind of shut everything
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
so,
obviously.
but it's a fabulous, if you ever have a chance to see, there's a movie version, but if you have a chance to see the live singing musical play version, I would highly recommend it.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I asked you when you came in here if you had any demo reel that you wanted to share on the show. You said you really couldn't find anything, or if you did, it might violate a copyright law. But I'm going to give you an opportunity to sing if you want to. So, something a cappella from one of your plays. It's up to you. You don't have to. But I figured, I'm looking at you and I'm hearing you talk, and it sounds to me like you have a bursting performer inside you all the time, or one that feels the need, that wants to burst.
You're very kind, but I have not warmed up, unfortunately.
Okay, no problem.
It would be unattractive at best.
Well, then we won't. Then you don't have to do it.
Thank you, though.
Of course, sure, no problem. All right, well, we'll just keep talking then. All right, well, so how many musicals have you been in since you came to Boston, or would you say? Can you ballpark it? Or to the Boston area?
15, but on the range of choristers to leads, it run the gamut. I'm actually also more involved now in the costuming aspect.
Yeah, okay. You like
Concord
creating
Bridge.
costumes?
I do, because let's go back to the Halloween thing.
Yep.
When I would produce, direct, write, light, do everything for my own in my home, a brand new concept every year, and we would have 400 and 500 people come through my house every year, where they'd have to come to me to get the candy. I love scaring the children. So
Okay.
that was great fun.
You were the trick and the treat.
I was the trick and the treat. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm always coming up with these whimsicals.
I just gave my coffin away.
Oh yeah, was there a vampire in there with a stake through his heart? I couldn't help. Sorry, I couldn't resist that one. I'm a big Dark Shadows fan from way back.
Dark Shadows.
I still watch it on
Barnabas
YouTube.
Collins.
Barnabas Collins.
Come on, yeah. Good stuff, that.
It is, great
Yeah,
stuff.
So I love that. And right now, I've parlayed that into, in May, I went to Georgia to be a lead in a thriller.
So you've been, a TV show, a play? A play.
So I've switched over to commercial TV and film acting in the
Okay.
past 3 years alone.
Well, great. Then let's cover what you've done on commercial TV, something that people in our area might have seen.
Sure.
All right, so let's talk about that.
So right now I have an ad running for Hometown Bank, which runs on WCVB.
Channel 5. Are you in it? So you're in the ad.
Yep.
What are you playing the ad? A disgruntled customer looking for a new bank? Better interest?
I am a mobile banking convert because of my advanced age. People my age don't necessarily like to click on the check to deposit.
I understand. Okay, I don't know how your age is, but I think you're younger than me based on the research I did, but I don't know.
Research, wow.
Well, I do that. I like looking at numbers and stuff.
And then my friends, every so often they say, hey, you're JB Sash and Door. I'm sorry, it's not one of your sponsors. Call me.
Okay. All right. Well, I've seen those commercials.
So they do run, and it's just fun to catch me on there.
Of course it is.
I recently was in the AMC TV series called Kevin Can F Himself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you play in that? Without giving too much away.
So no, I play Sam. I won't give too much away.
Okay, that's
but
fine.
I'm his mother-in-law, and I'm none too happy about his shenanigans. Let's just say that.
Okay. Now, what's he got to do with Kevin?
Well, Kevin is married to Allison, and Allison is really very interested in Sam, who was her former love interest.
Sam a male or female?
Sam is a male.
In this case, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. And this was the film you were in, right?
That's a television series.
Television series. Okay. And I've seen it advertised. I have to admit I have not seen it, but tell me where it can be viewed.
Well, it's now
would.
streaming on AMC Plus.
Okay.
You can also see it on regular AMC if you subscribe to that level of cable, and do it on demand.
Wow, that's awesome. It's incredible. Now, when did you do this? How long ago?
That was in March.
So okay, so just this year.
Yeah.
Sounds like it sounds like you're so busy now that everything is just really taking off like never before.
So 2021, Harrison, has been just a banner year.
Same here.
I feel like with everybody coming back to life, so to speak,
Yep.
the productions are just out in force, and everybody's busy, working again, loving it.
Feeling great, yeah, I know. Okay, so what are you doing now currently theater-wise or film-wise or TV-wise?
Yeah, I don't have time for theater as much as I love these days. I consider it maybe when things get a little slower, but I fly out tomorrow to be a supporting role in a SAG low-budget film in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Wow. I've been to that airport too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
It will be.
It'll be hot.
It'll be hot, but so will you be. That's what you want.
Definitely.
Can you tell us anything about the type of film it is, or the
Sure.
type of role you play?
Sure. It's a feel-good film, kind of. I can only liken it to The Blind Side.
Okay.
Where it's a story of someone with a disadvantaged background goes through trials and tribulations.
Is that your character?
Makes out ahead. No, I'm supporting.
Okay.
I'm supporting. So, but it's great fun.
Oh, it absolutely is. That's awesome. Okay. So where have you traveled to act in the United States? Film-wise, I mean, obviously that commercial you did for the bank, that was in the Boston area, right?
Yeah.
So where else have you traveled around the country to be in films or commercials?
So I was in a Harney Tea commercial.
Harley Key?
Harney Tea.
Harney.
Harney.
Okay, I don't know what that is, but
It's a fancy.
I thought you said Harley like bike.
Would that be great? I'd
It
love
would be.
that.
That'll be the next. That'll be a biker chick in the next commercial. But tell me about Harney. What's that?
The Harney Tea Company is a now like couple hundred-year-old tea company.
Keys,
And-
like turning for doors.
No, tea.
Oh,
like,
tea,
you know,
like
you
drink. I drink tea every day. I
Drink a
can't.
cup of tea.
Okay. I
Harney
probably had
tea.
some of that kind too.
I should have brought you that, but instead,
That's
I
fine.
brought you some honey.
Oh, thanks, but I don't do honey.
You don't?
I don't. Maybe Kim will take the
We'll
honey.
give it
when
to
you leave.
Kim.
Well, once
Kim
you
will take it.
we finish with the show, if you want
Yeah.
it, she can have it. I
Because
always
we're beekeepers at home.
yeah, I know. I had a beekeeper on my show last fall, and
Tell me why you don't like honey, or
I
don't
don't.
do
It's
honey.
not that I don't like it. I just don't. I don't really. I don't know. I just never really. It's all right. Maybe I don't like the flavor of honey. I'm not a honey person. Maybe it's because I'm single. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason.
Well, maybe you should try.
Now,
it.
try the honey as an aphrodisiac. Yeah, you're right.
You never know. This could
Well-
be. This could be the one.
Yeah, the honey. Yeah, that's all I need. That's all I need
You'll
is to do
share,
something
right?
kinky with the honey.
Wow.
Do
This
something
is-
kinky with the honey. Why not?
You know what? Yes, you could. It's actually a good antiseptic. It's great for wounds.
It's healthy. Yeah.
Never goes bad.
Okay.
So you know,
Well, we'll see if Kim wants it. If she doesn't want it, I'll take it. We'll figure something out
it's going to be great.
when we're done. All right. All right. Well, all right. So what does that have to do with? Why did
Oh,
you-
Harney Teas.
Oh, honey. Okay.
So that was in New York.
Okay.
So I've also traveled to New York to be in. I'm the worldwide face of a rare blood disorder drug. I did a
Whoa.
pharmaceutical advertisement in New York,
Okay.
and
Well, wait a minute. Was this a rare blood disorder drug? I mean, why is that something that they asked you to do? You don't have that blood disorder, do you?
luckily I do not have the rare blood disorder.
That's great.
But no, I'll go anywhere and try anything.
Okay,
so.
but you have an agent that gives you these that gets you these roles,
So
or do you do it yourself?
a number of them I get on my own,
Okay.
and as well as yes, I have an agent that does connect me, and that's how I got the Kevin Kneff himself.
Okay, can you tell me who the agent is? If not,
Sure, it's Tim Ayers at Model Club Inc.
Who is it?
Model Club.
Model Club, of course.
Yeah.
I've interviewed lots of people from Model
Yeah.
Club, and they're great.
They're fat.
They're up in New Hampshire, right? Oh, that's NEMG. That's New England Models
Right.
Group. Okay.
Right. Tim's in Boston.
Right. Okay. And how long have you been affiliated with them for?
So almost 2 full years.
Wow. And it sounds like they've really kept you busy. Now, did they get you the role in Texas too?
No,
In
that
Dallas?
was on my own.
That was in your own. So you're an independent operator, and sometimes you keep the middle person in mind, in use as well.
So the thing is that you should be definitely working as hard as your agent is working as hard for you.
That's
it's
true.
It's a two-way street.
That way it compounds your opportunities.
I'm a full-time working actress, so I'm out there exploiting every opportunity I possibly can to ply my trade, do my
Exactly.
art.
Wow. So I take it you've been to Hollywood, worked out there?
I have not been to Hollywood.
You have not been?
Thank you for thinking I might have possibly been.
Well, there's still plenty of time. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where you have been and where how many projects would you say you've done since you came to the United States, or you left Luxembourg?
Oh,
Sounds to me like that's when you really hit the pinnacle of
That's-
acting desire, when you came back here from Luxembourg.
Well, all of life, Harrison, is timing and opportunity.
Oh, tell me about it.
And so I had to wait until a certain time when our 3 children were of an age that I could actually, not be at home all the time.
Right.
And because
How old are
it's
they now?
time
They're
consuming.
adults, I guess?
You see the gray hair? Yes. They
Oh.
are 26, 24, and 22.
Okay.
Our 3 children.
That means you're in your 40s.
Thank you. Schmoozer.
Okay, well, all right. So since that's all right, so since your children have been adults, how many roles have you had about? Just see if we
So,
can. And where and
boy,
just-
that is a really great question.
It's
I
the
was
only kind we
thinking-
ask here.
I was thinking, this year alone, I've probably been, this is August,
Yes, it is.
I've probably been in
19.
20, 30 things.
That's just this year alone?
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, they're not all big, great, fabulous, wonderful things. Some are smaller parts. I did a film for an Emerson thesis film
okay.
where I played just a very small role. But I love being around the creative process. I love encouraging the young people that did not have, that have the opportunity that I did not have growing up when my parents denied me majoring in theater.
Wow.
So I love to avail myself to help people that are pursuing something with the full support of their family.
That's awesome. I've done an Emerson film myself, so I've been in a few films, and I was just in a music video last month up in Salisbury. It's not out yet,
Nice.
but I hadn't done one of them in years.
What was your role? What did you play?
Oh, I just played a guy in the diner who was giving the waitress the money for the food, whatever it was. And ironically, the girl that was the waitress was a guest on my show here about 4 months earlier.
Well, there are no.
Very pretty Chinese woman named Yaxin Han who was a model.
Don't know her.
No, that's fine. I mean, but that's, it's a small world when it comes to the world of showbiz we live in. I mean, there are probably people out there that you may have worked with that I know. Sounds especially from from Models Inc. because I've had a lot. That's what it is, right? That's your company, your agent.
Model Club.
Model Club. I'm sorry, Model Club.
That's
My
okay.
bad. Okay, there's a model. I think there's a Models Inc. too. But I'm saying I've interviewed people that have been represented by them as well. So I'm sure that somewhere along the line there are probably people that that I've interviewed that have been represented by them. Well, all right. So now that it sounds like you're just constantly on the move, getting projects for yourself, and you don't take no for an answer.
Yeah, actually, you have to take no
I know
for
you
an
have to
answer.
take no, but you put yourself out there so much that for every no you get about 4 yeses.
It's not quite that
I know.
good,
I admit it. I'm exaggerating, but I'm guessing that you're never not short. You're never short of work.
What is that quote, Wayne Gretzky? You miss 100% of the shots you never take.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's it.
I believe if you're out there, shaking the trees for work,
Yep.
you'll get booked.
Or rained on, but either way.
But prior to rained on, I like that. Prior to being able to act and do theater and film projects while I was raising my family, I parlayed my radio career into a voiceover career.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do voiceovers. Talk
Yeah.
about that, would you?
So, I do run my own company,
Okay.
Liz Bishop Industrial Voice Talent, and
Out of where? Out of your house?
Yep, I have a studio in my home
Cool.
for recording.
Nice.
And I hire and manage international voice talent and translation.
Wow.
So, which is great because when 2020 happened, everything shut down.
Right.
Every office that I'd ever done a recording for, because it's industrial voiceover, it's not necessarily all commercial work. Everyone needed all of their recordings redone in all the languages I represent.
Wow.
So it was a very busy banner year for me last year.
Well, what do you mean by industrial as opposed to commercial?
So I'm the person, Harrison, that people love to hate. Please hold, someone will be with you shortly.
Oh yeah, I guess. Well, but why would they need a company to do that? I mean, isn't that computer generated?
So it's happening. The computer generated voices are happening. They're coming. But I haven't been replaced yet. So thank you very much. I'll keep going.
No, it's okay. Oh, well, I never thought of that I never really thought of that as a voiceover. I just thought of that as it's just an extra added nuisance when you're trying to
Like I said,
accomplish something
the
on the phone.
person that people like to hate. For sales, press 1.
Yeah, no kidding.
So
That's you?
That's me in a lot of places.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, look, if it is, it's obviously plenty of it, so you must be doing all right.
I'm doing great, in fact.
But do you ever hire out for commercials, voiceovers too?
Yeah, no, I've gotten booked on commercials for and industrials,
Okay.
web series and the like. So
Okay.
there's a lot of opportunity for people to record your voice and hear your voice everywhere.
Okay. Now, do you do the voiceovers too? Do you
I
do
do.
them yourself and also hire other people to do them?
I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So that pretty much fills the gamut of your opportunities.
Yeah, it's
That's-
great.
Well, guess what? We're down to the final 5 minutes.
Final 5.
We made it go by fast, I know. So what I want you to do in the remaining time that we have is look at the camera and give shouts out to people, condense them, then we'll wrap the show up, just the way we started it with my baby here.
I love your baby, by the way.
I love
It's
it
so
too.
snappy.
11 years it's been with me, you know it.
I love it. Well, shout outs. I want to say first to my husband, Mike, LTF NTR, and nobody's going to know what that means. And
National Public Radio?
No, LTF NTR.
Oh, NTR, I thought PR, all right.
It's our catchphrase. Anyway, been married 31 years, so Mike, thanks so much for your love and support, and I couldn't do any of this without you. And my 3 kids who gave me every one of my gray hairs, thank you so much. And Tim Ayers, who believed in me and has given me many, many wonderful opportunities, including I never would have been here meeting Harrison Blake Young if it hadn't been for my great success the past few years. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And also, what I ask all of my current guests before we wrap the show up is if you had a good time with me tonight and we covered all as much as we can, try to see if you can get me more guests, people that have an interesting story to tell you, voiceovers. I'll even take an annoying operator. Well, I don't care. I'm always looking for new guests. We'll make a show out of it. I'm pretty good at it, as you know, after 11 years and a day.
Absolutely, yes. You've been doing a great job, and 11 plus more years to come.
At
I
least.
wish you.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Now, just before we wrap the show up, are there any projects on the horizon that you want to cover real quick that you forgot about?
I did just get booked on a project called Roller Kingdom.
Okay.
So
What's that?
Interestingly enough, in Hudson, Massachusetts, there's an outfit called Roller Kingdom. They're a roller rink.
Okay.
And I did the voiceover for their commercial about 22 years ago. So, and now I'm acting in a film that's taking place at Roller Kingdom. So that's my latest fun bit.
That's sweet. Where is Roller Kingdom?
Hudson, Massachusetts.
Hudson.
Maybe we can get them on your list.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to ask if you know some people there. If you had a good time with me, hype me up and we'll get them on.
Hype, baby.
I love Hudson. I walk in Hudson sometimes, right next to Marlboro.
Yes, indeed.
Home of Marsha Cross. Remember Marsha Cross, who was on Melrose Place?
Melrose Place.
Melrose
yeah.
Place. You ever seen that? She played the evil Dr.
Oh, I
Kimberly
know
Shaw.
Marsha Cross. Yeah.
She's from Marlboro.
Oh, I didn't know she was from Marlboro.
I know, a lot of people-
You know so much.
I try to, I try these little tidbits of information, knowledge is power and all that. Power is knowledge, whatever.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay, well, you did a great job with me tonight, Liz.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate you coming up. You made my interview incredible as usual, as credible as I always try to make it incredible. But without great guests that make Topic Time prime, as I say, I wouldn't have gotten 11 years in the book, and I wouldn't be heading to the next chapter. So I commend you for that and everything you're doing. It's amazing.
Again, the pleasure was all mine. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, great job, and you're ready to wrap the show up the way we began?
Let's do it.
Okay, folks, thanks for watching Topic Time. More great episodes to follow. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I can't snap like that. Boy, you're good. Ever consider doing snap overs as well as voiceovers?
Ooh, new industry.
I know, right?